Hello friends, and welcome back for another video for the summer season scrapping with Sarah and I. If you have not seen her video yet, I'll have it linked down in the description. But today I am using the prompt from our prompt list. If you haven't seen that, it'll be at the end of this video on my blog and over on Instagram in case you want to play along. And this one's the front porch prompt. I had this photo sitting on my desk for a while, and I believe it actually was taken in the summertime, but I printed it a long time ago and haven't gotten around to scrapbooking it yet. But here you'll see I'm using the Coco Vanilla Studio Unforgettable collection because the colors in here perfectly match the color of the cover of the book I'm scrapbooking here, and I'm reading it on my porch. And I know many scrapbookers are also readers, but I think front porch was such a good idea that Sarah had given for our prompt list. Whether it's your front porch or your back porch, deck, whatever you'd like to call it in whatever region you are, I think we don't often talk about our outdoor spaces enough. We often talk about, inside our home memories, but never outside the home exterior. So that's kind of what this prompt is for. Now this is a bright, cheery layout, but this is not a bright, cheery book. But I really do appreciate the fact that I was able to use bright colors despite the sadness of this layout for me. And I have not finished this book yet, but it is a true story memoir. Can link it down below if anybody's interested. But I have not finished it yet. It's a hard to read book since it is hitting so close to home about a mother and daughter duo, and the mother is getting a terminal illness and how that proceeds from there. So still reading it myself, but if anybody's interested, I'll have it linked down below. But I really loved these beautiful colors in this collection. Now, I originally saw this paper and thought that is so busy, I would never use it. And here I am using it. But I really, really love it. There's something about pre-made mixed media style backgrounds, especially ones like this that really showcase the depth. You can even see it really well on camera, that it really feels like it was almost made in real life. And there are ways you can take these backgrounds. I know Vicky Boutin does them as well, where you add a little bit of extra dimension in mixed media yourself, or a couple extra layers where it feels like you did make the actual paper. It's really cool. But I wanted to do a double border here, so I did gut the background paper there and use that pink floral to add another pop of pink. And I really struggled with which papers to use. And as you guys know, I don't typically work with just a collection at a time. I usually like to mix and match. So here's where I start looking elsewhere for other pieces. So I pull out some LE Studio tags, testing out which colors match. I do pick out a couple that I'll end up revisiting later. And then I end up remembering I had these ephemera pieces from Social Paper Plan, small business. Highly recommend you guys check them out. They have Disney stuff, they have non-Disney stuff. Cuteness all around. But these are actually some grief ephemera pack, and I end up using this as part of my title and little bits and bobs that say nice things to use scattered around my layout. And luckily the colors really, really worked. I don't think that brown particularly works with the collection, but it does work well with the photo, so that's why I ended up still using it. But I end up using a ton of butterflies. Now I know butterflies can have so many different meanings, but I really, really liked the pop of dimension they give on this layout, and you'll see how I do that when I glue those down. But firstly, I do need to map my photo, so I end up going with this polka dot paper, which has cut-aparts on the other side. And what I like to do when it's double-sided and there's cut-aparts is be mindful of where I'm putting the photo. Like I'm using the cut-aparts with a lot of words on them here instead of the label side. That way, when I go back to that sheet that's a scrap now, I can use the labels still, the ones that I'm more likely to use. I'll try to keep in the cut-off section. But as we move through, I wanted to pull out one of these titles because when in Rome, you might as well use the titles that come with the layout. But I ended up making a small adjustment, which you'll see later when I start laying everything out, to expand the title to make it my own. And that's another great way to maximize a sort of collection kit or a sticker sheet or anything like that, where you're given a word or a small phrase and you add something to it, whether that's with leather stickers, additional phrase stickers, kind of making it your own. And I think that's where a lot of people feel like they get stuck, because a lot of titles we're given in these collections can be quite repetitive. But if you add just a couple extra words, whether with stamps or stickers or even like phrase stickers, can really expand a title, especially with something like a simple word like bloom. You can really, really do something well with that, depending on your topic. So here I'm ending up creating a shelf for everything. I used that polka dot washi tape, the pink floral cutoff, and then I actually do another diagonal stripe. And normally I wouldn't put two diagonal stripes together, but I was intentional about using diagonal stripes because there are diagonals in the photo there from the porch beams. So it worked out really, really well that those kind of went flowing into each other, and I made sure they did. I went specifically looking for the directional diagonals that I needed. And to add in more contrast, I will be revisiting the foam thicker set that comes with it because when in Rome, you want to make sure you're having a cohesive layout by adding the additional, in this case, dimension, as well as that contrast through the black color of the foam. Now, as I glue everything down, things shift a little bit, but nothing's too out of place. But then I start gluing down some of the ephemera pieces. This one says giving myself a hug. This one says I honor these emotions. Just really kind of keeping this light and airy layout, despite how happy it looks, keeping it very, very happy as much as possible, because the journaling might hit well, but it's still like this great book. There's good things I'm learning, great things to learn, and I start building out my title. Now, I'm not happy with that placement, so you'll see I'm going to move that later, but for now I'm going to glue down my butterflies. What I end up doing is actually folding their wings back and only gluing down the center. Now, you could also use some foam adhesive under there, but I end up just going freelancing with nothing underneath it to support it, which is totally fine too. They'll flatten over time, but it works right now. And I end up adding to that title there, as you can see, and there's a couple phrases in that ephemera pack from Social Paper Plan, and this one I end up going for says these tears, so in case will be these tears bloom for the title, which I thought was a really sweet title, especially given how everything pans out with the book, I'm assuming. But as we go through, I'll add in a couple little bits and bobs here. Like I said, I definitely wanted to use some of the clear stickers and some of the ephemera, and I end up layering a bunch of these florals underneath the butterflies for an extra pop of color. Now, the background's crazy enough, so why did I do this? I just think butterflies belong with flowers, and that was my main reasoning for doing it. A couple little heart stickers from the clear sticker set. Now, I will say the 6x12 stickers, the cardstock ones, are a little bit harder to peel off, and you'll see me struggle with a couple of them later. But before I do that, I want to have a journaling block available, so I go to this LE Studio set and trim off the blue one. Originally thought I was going to go with the purple, but I actually really, really like the blue. It helps pop and give the rest of that blue in the layout another pop. As you can see, it's quite sparse compared to the pinks, so I really, really liked how that turned out. Now, I did think a layered label look might look nice, but I end up trying it out, and I just think it's too boxy for this particular layout because there are so many rounded edges with the butterflies and the hearts and the flowers. It's just a lot of round and not enough square. So one rectangular box was enough for me. I'm going to tuck that underneath that flower to make it feel more cohesive. And then I'm going to add in a couple more stickers and bits. I did test out some more hearts because you can never have too many hearts on a layout such like this. And then the enamel dots. I am so thankful when a collection comes with enamel dots. I freaking love enamel dots. I can never get enough of them. I want to put clusters of them everywhere. I could have also brought in some Nuvo drops, but I thought I would remain, honorable to the enamel dots that came with this collection. Now, I do avoid the cream ones. There's not enough cream on this page for me to warrant using them, but they are there for a future use. But I really had a lot of fun laying these out in 3s and 1 settings to make sure there's a little bit of fun between the butterflies and the ephemera pieces I have on there. And I think it really, really works well. And that'll be almost it for this layout. I come back into the 6x12 sticker sheet and struggle to peel off all these phrase stickers. So I use one that says memory lane, currently, and then I think I used one extra one. Yeah, this one says details, which will be right next to the journaling. So again, just adding in a little bit more text to honor the book theme, to honor, the little elements in here besides the journaling and such. But I really, really loved how this came out, and I hope you guys do too. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I had a really, really fun time putting this together, even though it is a bright layout for a more sad sort of type of thing. I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Let me know if you own this collection, if you want to see me use it a little bit more through this series. But that is it from me, guys. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like this video if you enjoyed. Here is our prompt list, and we'll see you guys next month with some more videos.